How's everybody doing on this blessed and amazing day? For those who don't know, I'm Isaiah, or my channel name is A Chris, and I just, preach the gospel here on this channel while also doing other videos like basketball, day in the life, workout, etc., etc. But today, we are understanding love in totality. I know I explained it a little bit in my last video. If y'all want to check that out, it was don't fake it, just make it. If y'all want to check that out, it was a pretty good lesson. I will say so to myself, not to my own horn, but just thank God for speaking through me. But yeah, we talked about qualities to add and to continue to add on to your faith, and love was the backbone and the last of it, combining all of it together. For if you lack love, then you're basically moving in vain. And to understand what love is, it's more than just a feeling or something you can just feel, something that can just kind of come and go, per se, as the world describes it. And you won't know how to describe it unless you are in the word. And in fact, it actually says that. I'm not just saying that. Should be for yourself. It says in 1 John chapter 4, verse 7, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God." So we can't know what actual love is if we're not of God, if we don't know God. So that's why it's imperative to get into the word for yourself, to understand the scriptures and the deeper meaning behind things, because from face value, we can take love and feel like love is something that's broken. We can take love and feel like love is something that you do before marriage. Well, I mean, you can still love before marriage, but in a sense of having sex before marriage is what I'm trying to say. You could take love and just get comfortable with the world's definition and not try to conform to what God said what love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love forgives. Whew, that was a tough pill to swallow for some of y'all, huh? Yes, love forgives. God forgave us. He still loved us while we were still sinners. Romans 5, verse 8. Like, that is crazy to me, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We can only love people as much as we love ourselves. Ooh. Do you love yourself? How well do you love yourself? What do you do to actively pour into you? And the answer to that, the ultimate answer, should be God, right? Because we can only love others as much as we love ourselves, and we can only love ourselves as much as we love God. Thank y'all for filling in my sentence. So I'm going to read this verse one more time, and then I'll be getting into the meat of what I want to talk about. So knowing God through love, that's a subsection. This is my NKJV. For yo, this is a good Bible cover, by the way. Shout out to Acadia. But yeah, verse 7, it says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God." Verse 8, "He who does not know love does not know God." Well, he who does not love does not know God, for God is love. There's the definition of love. And the Greek definition of love is agape. That's sacrificial love. What else needs to be said for those who don't know? Jesus Christ laid down his life willingly to die for us, to depart from the spirit, to fully take the full wrath of God, and continuously do that until the day of completion, to allow us to get right and present ourselves as holy unto him. That is a truly blessing. He died so we could live. He was not able to walk, so I'm able to walk. He gave his last breath, so I'm able to speak. That's the type of God that we serve, and that's the agape love which he showed and displayed with on the cross. Even before the cross, he constantly was moving in love, responding to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He constantly was in love, departing from his disciples and willing them along, even when they did wrong and showed little faith. That's love. Love forgives. Love is patient. Love is kind. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 13. That's what describe what love is. Ultimately, love is God. If I had to describe God in one word, it would be love. It would be sacrifice. It would be taking the blow when he didn't have to. Because it should have been me. It definitely should have been me. A quick little story I want to share y'all before I get into I know I keep prolonging my main message, but a quick little story I want to get into before displaying my main message. The person of whose place he took on that cross. Sorry for the cut, I had a brain fire, but the person that Jesus took on the cross was Barabbas, and that literally transfers in Aramaic to son of the father. Bar meaning son and Abba meaning father. So Barabbas took Jesus' place on the cross. And going back to old records, his full name was Jesus Barabbas, meaning that the crowd actively chose between Jesus Barabbas and Jesus the Messiah. Pilate gave the crowd a free choice to choose to release one prisoner, and they chose to release Jesus Barabbas. So they chose to release the son of the father and the son of the father, right? It was either the son of the father or the son of the father. So basically what I'm trying to wrap this up in this quick little parallel, that they chose to let a guilty man walk free. He was a notorious criminal known for trying to overthrow the government. And funny enough, that's what they tried to get Jesus for, because he tried to overthrow the government. He tried to be higher than what he said he was, right? But they chose this man who tried to overthrow the government countless times. He was a murderer, a notorious criminal. Let him walk free and put Jesus, who knew no sin, upon that cross. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like us. Son of man, us, sinful, corrupted, allowed us to walk free. And he took our place. That's the Jesus we serve. That's love. Now, let's get into what I originally wanted to talk about. And this comes from Matthew chapter 22, verses, might as well read 34 through 40. And again, this is my NKJV. If y'all want to follow along, I know my last video I didn't edit. I apologize. This video I'm going to edit, so y'all going to see it on the screen anyway. It reads, "But when Pharisees heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, they gathered together. Then one of them, a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him and saying, 'Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?' The greatest commandment. Jesus said to him, 'You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind.'" That is the greatest commandment known to God, known to man, known to everything. "And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." So to break this down, Jesus said that the first commandment, the greatest commandment, that you should love your God with all your heart. So that ties back into what I was saying earlier. We can only love as much as we love ourselves. We can only love ourselves as much as we love God. So it starts by acknowledging him, acknowledging that his love allows me to love, and loving him with all our heart, our mind, and all our soul for everything that he did. He should be our motivation when we get up. The love that he has for us, allowing me to love. He chose me so that I could choose him. That is a beautiful and respectable thing to understand. And I hope that a seed is planted within this video for you to dive deeper into that and to ultimately increase your love for him. My love shall not remain the same. It shall only increase, because he is just so good and he woke me up today. Amen, amen, and amen. Let me sit up straight for y'all. I'm getting too comfortable. You feel me? Okay, and then boom, after he says that the greatest commandment is that to love him with all our mind, heart, soul, and mind, he says the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. So going back to that question I struck earlier, how much do you love yourself? What are you doing to actively pour into yourself? How are you maintaining yourself? How well do you take care of yourself is what I'm trying to say, essentially. How well do you take care of yourself? Because that goes back to understanding what love is. For those who don't know love, don't know God, for God is love. And that's why this world sees a false perception of love and a broken form of love, because they generally don't know what true love is. We grow up in broken households. We grow up in a one-parent household. We grow up in places where God is not present. So don't know what love is. We take what we get and we give what we got. So I'm here to tell you on today to find that love within God, to first love him, to put your whole trust in him and all that he can do, for his plans are far greater than yours. I promise you. I tried to do my way and I found up on Yahweh. I ended up finding Yahweh. Tried to do my way, ended up finding Yahweh. So that's definitely the main focal point I'm trying to preach and instill with the young mindset, to follow after him and his love, to ultimately give that love out onto people. And that takes time with loving yourself. The world is so broken because we're giving out our depiction of what love is. And until you know and understand God, that's how you know what love is. So love is not a feeling. Love is more than that. Love is God. Y'all be blessed and have an amazing day. I love you. Most importantly, Jesus Christ loves you. Amen.